own a home or have plans to in the future? Or are you upside down in your mortgage and need help? Tune in right now to the Call Toni Real Estate Radio Show with Toni Patillo and her co-host Carla Dennis. This is where you come to learn about buying real estate. Here's Toni.
Hello, Los Angelinos. I'm your host, Toni Patillo, and you're listening to Call Toni Real Estate Radio here on KEIB AM 1150, The Patriot.
Well, Toni, I know, we were preempted one week, but I know you've got the word for this week. So tell me what's happening.
You know what? Anything is subject to change. That's my word today is change, okay?
It is.
And the reason why I selected this is because even in real estate, with a real estate transaction, you can't get attached to the outcome. You can't get attached to the results. You have to understand that anything is subject to change. And people have a tendency to get really attached to the outcome of things, and then they set themselves up for disappointment. Right? So my whole objective today is to really talk about, being flexible and being open. I want to share a little story with you, Carla, about a client of mine, the VA buyers, right? They've been waiting for years and years and years to buy their first home. These are seniors, by the way. Mm-hmm. And they got this VA benefit, and we've been looking and we've been searching, and we finally found a property that they got excited about. Wow. And I explained to them, I said, I don't want you to get completely attached to this property because anything can happen, Right now, there are no offers on the property, but we're going to put our offer in. We're going to put our best foot forward. And sure enough, the husband came out. They were all excited. We put our offer in, and right at the last moment, an all-cash offer came in and outbid us. So, and as a VA buyer, sometimes the sellers look at what they've got on the table, and they say, wow, these people are really nice. They're great. They've got the VA financing, which is 100% financing. But then you've got an all-cash buyer here.
Right. It looks more enticing.
This looks a little more enticing,
Absolutely.
Right? And, sometimes it's not all about the cash.
Right.
It's about who's buying it and what the emotions are of the people who are selling the property.
That's right.
If, a lot of times people are selling a property, and it's important for them to sell it to someone who is going to have the same kind of care and love and attachment to the property. Right. And then there are those folks who are not necessarily, they're the sellers, but they don't necessarily live in the property. Right. So they're not so emotionally attached to who buys it. Right. So anything is subject to change in these transactions.
This is such a good conversation because you can be resistant without even knowing you're being resistant.
That's right.
When I moved here, I was convinced. I moved here to do music. I had just recorded my first record. Yeah. I had interest from management and record labels and all that stuff. That's really exciting. And if you had told me, 8 years from now, you're going to be doing, business radio and real estate radio stuff and you're going to love it, I would have told you were crazy.
That's right.
And yet, as the transition was happening, and I saw it happening, where the music thing was just not going to work out the way I thought it was going to, and these other opportunities were coming up, and I was saying no to stuff that I had no business saying no to because I was still stuck in an older mindset and I wasn't being flexible. And look how great my life is right now. I love it. I love what I'm doing. Yeah. And that's just because I finally just said I'm going to let it go and be open to the opportunities that are in front of me now.
That's exactly right, Phil, because when you do let it go and you allow yourself to be open to the opportunity, you can receive it. Sometimes opportunities are before you, but you have your mind so stuck on a certain outcome, like you mentioned, Toni, that you can't even see the opportunity right before you. And then when you release it, it's all of a sudden like, wow, it was right here all the time. Yeah, I love that word.
Life is a journey.
It is.
It's not about the destination per se. It's really about the journey.
It totally is.
And I didn't even plan to be in real estate. I didn't wake up at the age of 10 and say I want to be a realtor. That was I didn't even at 25 I wasn't thinking this. Okay, so everything unfolds as you are going through the journey. Right. And who knows? That's why I say change. It's a very powerful concept. It is, and it's a powerful thing to embrace. Because when you understand that anything is subject to change at any moment, then you can go along for the ride, not stress yourself out, understand that everything happens for a reason. And usually it is.
That's exactly right.
Usually there is a reason. We're not running it. We think we're running it.
We think we are, but we're not in control.
We're really not
You
running
know,
it,
Toni,
right?
my mother had a saying. She says, a door has to close for another door to open up.
That's right.
And you need to allow these doors to close so other opportunities open up for you.
That's right.
And as long as you're trying to keep your foot in the door and hold it open, you're not seeing the opportunities before you. So it really is true. It's definitely
very
about
true.
the journey.
That's right. Very true.